My name is Daniel Robinson. I attend AC Flora, and I'm planning to major in geology at the College of Charleston.
Good job.
When the lights and camera turn off, I will be here. When the interest and conversation fade, I will be here. When there's no one around, a father will do anything it takes to be there for his son, to protect his family.
David.
Where's everybody?
9 infant months.
Without these special people behind me, I wouldn't have a search. Hello, everybody. Dave Robinson here, father of Geologist Daniel Robinson. Thank you guys for joining in on this live this evening. Hope you all had a wonderful day. Hope your day has been everything that you've been looking for. You and your family are blessed. Like I said, thanks so much for joining in. Today, I just want to talk about Daniel again. You guys, all the efforts that we have been doing since the time he went missing. I've been fortunate to have people like you to join in on the searches out there in that desert. 49 weeks of searches, 35,000 acres of land covered. We found other human remains, bringing some form of closure to other families. Also, closing the case for the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office stolen vehicle that I was able to recover for that department. As well as, like I said, getting awareness out there, not just only for Daniel, but for many other families. So I'm really grateful for that and all the support and all the love that happened during those times, as well as you guys participated in many of the events that we were having to, again, bring awareness to Daniel's case and also to for other families. So I'm really grateful again for you guys for supporting those efforts. You guys for donating to the GoFundMe, to put your voice to the petition, to help me fight. You guys have a ground to stand on, you guys, when it comes to facing law enforcement and to push them to do more in Daniel's case. You guys kept my boots on the ground from day one. I asked you guys to help me out with that. You guys helped me remain in Arizona to put up the fight, to get Daniel's case on a national stage. You guys to a point where, like I said, it's out there on a national level. And you guys have been helping by passing out those flyers word of mouth, sharing Dane's stories, sharing this YouTube channel as well as the other social media platforms. I thank you everybody who coming in on the Instagram side. I see you guys there joining in. Again, I'm just really grateful for the platform that Instagram decided to allow us to run a platform through, outside platform to be able to show our live streams on Instagram using different platforms. So I'm really grateful for that. That really helps out a lot. You guys know it's usually be the Twitter, the Facebook, and also the YouTube. So hopefully I can get this also this live going with TikTok in the future. That'd be very great. But again, you guys have been sharing. I just want to really jump on real quick to thank some of you. I see a lot of you, like I said, on Instagram, but a lot of you on the other platforms. Esther, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the support you have been doing since day one. Hello, David. I have heard from my daughter, but still no word on exactly where she and my granddaughter are. Thanks for always showing up. Oh yes, and my prayers are there with you as well, for you and your family. Of course, anything you need, if you want to be on this platform as well, you're welcome all the time. Esther. So thanks so much. I really appreciate you for joining in with us. So thank you so much again. Also, Brooke, thank you for being here on off the YouTube side as well. Thank you for your prayers, praying for your family every day. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Tracy. We need those prayers, so thank you so much. Prayers out to your daughter and your granddaughter Esther. Yes, definitely will be praying for her. Definitely, you guys keep her in mind, her daughter, her granddaughter in mind, and we need to share the story. So Esther, if you want to join me, just send me a message. Say you want to join me. I can send you a link, and we can join in on this live as well as any future lives. We can talk about your case and things that's going on. I need to know more, so I want to be able to help a little more and everything else. So God we're going to be blessing. God's going to be blessing you. You get all the answers that you're looking for, but we need to give out part and do the prayer that we're, charged to do. So definitely praying for you and your family, praying for those answers that you're looking for. So again, thank you, Tracy, for putting that out as well. The information out there as well for that you'll be praying for her daughter. I truly appreciate that because that's what we need, you guys. We all need to help in every way that we can when it comes to cases and things that's happening, because like I said, nobody knows when it can happen. Unfortunately, it can happen to someone as we're speaking, and is unfortunate that families have to go through that. It's many families right now that are suffering that just have no clue what they have some fear, doubt, all kind of things, all kind of emotions run at the same time. So trust me, we've been there as a family, and we know exactly what a family is going through. So again, my prayers are there, and my ability to help any way I can is there. Is also just like I said, Esther, we're gonna talk about that too and reach out, and we're gonna talk about that and do a little bit more. Also, thank you, Rona, for being here. I truly appreciate you from the YouTube side as well. I wish I could get everybody on the Instagram side. I can see you guys up there, so I can say thank you to some Vic and let's see who else I get. Bernard, thank you so much. Lindsay, thanks so much for being here. Aaron, thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm very interested in making a documentary about this to keep the story alive. I emailed you, David. I would look out for the email. Please help find Daniel@yahoo.com. I truly appreciate it, Aaron. I will be looking out, and we'll talk about that. I truly appreciate you for supporting and being here on this live. Terry Dean, thank you so much for being here. Continue faith in a joyous reunion for the Robinsons. Yes, and also, like I said, let's keep Esther in mind, you guys. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Terry. Yes, definitely gonna keep that faith and have that joyous reunion. I really believe Daniel's out there. I have to have that faith, despite of everything that we know from the crime scene. You guys, I still have to keep that faith that Daniel's out there, and that's what keeps us going as a family, keeps me going, and also I know by faith God can do anything. Good evening, Mr. Robinson. Praying daily for Daniel's safe return. I really appreciate that, Jen. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks for your prayers. Definitely, again, I definitely need those. Esther, thanks so much. 20 years old and 25, 20, the 25th, on the 25th, and 3 months old on the 30th. So I think that's the ages that you're putting up there. So I want to make sure I'm right. I probably missed some of your chats. what's going on in the chat. So thank you, Esther. Like again, I said, we're gonna talk about that, and I want to make sure that I do my part. So you guys keep her in your prayers. Please keep her in your prayers. I'm really trying to, because I'm thinking, Esther, we probably talked a little bit about it. I'm not sure, but I just want to be pull up to date to what's going on, and I want to be able to help you any way I can. So again, I definitely want to be there for you. So I'm just looking through the chats to try to see if I can figure something out here. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm assuming these are the ages. And so thank you so much for, like I say again, for being here. Also, you guys, like I said, I want to talk about some of the things that have been happening in the Daniel case and how you guys can help with my efforts going forward. It's little things I'm trying to do in the backside of things to keep it going forward. As you guys know, I'm still waiting. I found some information finally. One of the young men who's been finding information out there in Arizona for me have found some when it comes to Chief Hall, for instance. Chief Sanders, Assistant Chief Sanders at the time will be interim chief right now for the Buckeye Police Department until I think the city managers they decide to put a new chief, fully new chief in place. So for now, I'm waiting on. I talk to Sanders all the time, so he's nobody new. He's also part of, to me, I look at him and Chief Hall, as the same persons. So hopefully I'm looking for a new chief who have new ideas coming into that department where I can secure a meeting with that department again. And also with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, I heard there's 3 prospects there. Of course, that's an elected official. He's out of there now, and they need to replace that spot. I don't know who's the interim person is. I'm still waiting on that name, and I want to get a meeting with that person before election time. So again, you guys, that's what's going on in the back side of things, because again, I'm holding forensics that should have been processed by now. It's been over 2 years, and that it should have been processed the correct way. Nobody's just swab a steering wheel and a shifter and say, and then they say good day and move on when there's obviously a crime that happened, possible, the way they want to look at it. And and there's the fact, if it was a police cruiser, it'd been no question they would have fully processed that vehicle in the same manner that Daniel's vehicle was found. So I want the same treatment in Daniel's case. So that's what I'm pushing you guys, and I'm not going to stop just because you guys may see some slowdown on lives and things like that. I just do a lot in the background, and it don't allow me the time to get here on the lives as I used to, and I really want to. But I'm definitely doing some work to make sure that this forensics is getting done. Make sure I can get it processed, because it's costly, guys, trying to house forensics and keep it, and especially when they're in jeopardy of being lost forever. So again, we need your prayers on that. Need your prayers for my family continually. As we go through this whole full process of Daniel being missing and still wanting to locate him. Thank you, Millie, for being here. And also, I have Root Tracker. Thanks so much for being here. And thank you so much for your love and support. I want to put a little clip, you guys, real quick. Brianna Whitley, she did. It's an old clip, you guys. So when you hear the dates, of course, it's back. But I want to play a clip real quick and then make some discussion about it. But before I do, though, I want to go real quick. Before I do, I want to bring another clip in when I first did my first family press conference that I set up in front of the Buckeye Police Department. You guys, I set that up on I believe it was a Saturday, and the thing is, I made sure, because it's public space, you guys. So I want to make sure that we were right in the door of the Buckeye Police Department's door, right at their door. So they had no choice but to hear us, and see us, right? They had a news organization, local news organizations out there as well. And to my surprise, the Buckeye Police Department is closed on a Saturday. It kind of reminded me of Mayberry or something. I didn't know law enforcement would do that. I guess crime stopped in Buckeye on the weekends, but there definitely was closed. Their building there. So, I didn't know it until one of the young ladies had mentioned it. So when she mentioned it, I had to look behind my back, and it was like a surprise to me that the department is actually closed. So I'm gonna play a little clip of it, and then we'll go forward from there. I'm going to make some discussions about it. Before I get started, I want to take time out and recognize a few people that gave me strength that I need to further the efforts to find my son, Danny. Danny's mother, Melissa. Who kept things together back at home in South Carolina so that I can focus on finding our son. My family, who encouraged me to continue this journey, giving me guidance that I needed along the way. Too many volunteers, each and every one of you, who worked tirelessly for hours, searching for our son. To Jeff McGrath, my private investigator who is truly invested in making sure no rocks went unsearched. I appreciate the numerous hours, the counseling, the dedication and professionalism that you showed to our family. And lastly, I'd like to thank the West Valley NAACP. I'd like to thank the Black Mothers Forum, and the new Black Panther Party, Phoenix Local Organizing Committee, Mr. Floyd Galloway, Ms. Jeanette Knight, Mr. Paul Adams, Mr. Evan Short, Mrs. Shante McDowell, Mr. Lionel Farmer, the local media, community members, and everyone that donated and shared posts about our son, I thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. If I've got to mention anyone else who has given their time and energy to help us find Danny, please talk to my head and not my heart. To the members of the media and fellow residents gathered here today, my name is David Robinson II, the father of my lovely, sharp, funny, intelligent, confident geologist, Daniel Robinson, Daniel Cornelius Robinson. Since childhood, I knew Daniel would accomplish anything he put his mind to. He never let an obstacle get in his way. For example, Daniel was born with one hand, as many have found out, but he never allowed that to hinder him. When he wanted to play football, he played football. When Daniel wanted to learn the French horn, he taught himself. When he wanted to play the trombone, he mastered it. Daniel would not let adversity stop him. That is why I can't give up on him. When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have to speak. You have to say something. You have to do something. By Representative John Lewis. On the 23rd of June, I contacted the Buckeye Police Department, informing them our son, geologist Daniel Robinson, has been missing for over 12 hours. Officer Cruz notified me that he would send a helicopter out to search for Daniel the following morning. On June 24th, however, 2 hours after our call ended, Officer Cruz informed me that the search was canceled because my son was an adult and non-suicidal. The lack of urgency from the Buckeye Police Department prompted me to drive from Columbia, South Carolina to Buckeye, Arizona. Something didn't seem right to me, and the decision was not fair. Upon arrival on June 26th, I received a call from my auntie in Philadelphia, letting me know that the Buckeye Police Department was using a Firebird helicopter to search for Daniel in the same vicinity where they found Daniel's car. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. There you go. I think you guys can see me now. I hope you guys can hear me now. So, I always end up having some type of form of difficulties here on this live. So, okay, good. I see Esther. Thanks so much for putting that up. Oh, I don't know if you say you can't hear. I hope you can hear. Okay, there you go. All right, thank you so much. You guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate those chats and everybody let me know that you can hear me speaking and can see me as well. But what I wanted to get at real quick, and I paused it for a second because I want you guys to understand this is right after the vehicle showed up out there in that desert. So my memory of events is really fresh, you guys. So the dates that I was giving, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys pretty soon. Some recordings, some audio recordings. I also have a company, a newspaper out in Germany that's been working with me in the background as well, and a media company there, and to put out some of the audio you guys will be hearing here in the States as well, about law enforcement when they say, hey, they was out there searching for Daniel actively from the time he went missing. It's far from the truth, you guys, from their own words, and information that I'm starting to release to the public. And I'm just really addressing this because, according to the Buckeye Police Department report, they said it was out there almost like the day after, and they put the helicopter out there really quick. And like I told you guys before, it was almost 3 days before they decided to go even search for Daniel. Officer Cruz at the time, very, very to me at the time, he's very helpful, very kind. He was calling, asking questions, and he and I was talking to the employees of Daniel, getting sharing information towards each other. So I really appreciate him for that. And but at the same time, he literally that night when he was out there on the 23rd of June, he told me he was searching that area. He told me literally when he said area, when the Buckeye Police Force said he searched the area out there, no, they didn't search the area. They rode up and down Sun Valley Parkway, and it's literally out of this officer's mouth to me how they was performing this so-called looking out for Daniel. And that was riding up and down Sun Valley Parkway just to see if he was stuck on the side of the road. The Buckeye Police Department haven't not actively searched for Daniel at all. What they did is they put him in the NCIC database to, it's almost like an APB situation where they was able to put him on in their database, where if Daniel somehow drove to, at the time we didn't know where the vehicle was, so he drove to out to North Carolina somewhere, if an officer pull him over or got in the view of his tags got in the view of a camera from a law enforcement car, it immediately flagged that car, flag, and they'll know that we're looking for him. Basically, that's it. That's the stint that Buckeye have went to before my aunt called and asked for the Phoenix Firebird helicopter. They wasn't putting a bird in the air. They told me that, and also the fact that they saw him as a grown man, adult male. He can disappear if he want to. It's nothing that Daniel told them. It came from an assumption. I just want you guys to kind of listen to the words of this family press conference. In my first press conference, right after the vehicle showed up, that I put together to give the public awareness of what was going on at that immediate time. The time frame of this video, the press conference, I want to get the exact date, but it was well into July, the month after, the month when Daniel went missing. His vehicle showed up the month after he went missing, but the month when his vehicle showed up. So it was right in that little same vicinity. I would get the exact date. It wasn't in August or anything like that. It was right into July, going into the beginning of August. So you guys, you can continue to hear some of this. So I'm going to share a little bit more. Then we're going to move on to something else. Found this Jeep Planet a month later. On many occasions, I traveled Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road to sit outside that gate leading to the well site where my son was last seen. With nothing but binoculars in hand, I looked into the desert from the road in hopes that one second, I'm sorry.
Take your time.
In hopes that I can look into the desert from the road, in hopes that I could see, that I could spot my son's vehicle from afar. After waiting days for Buckeye Police Department to do more searches for our son, I knew I had to do something because time was crucial. I couldn't go another day allowing the desert to separate me from being there for my son. I could not let my son's life be hinged on a decision to act or not to act. So I acted. I worked hard day and night, sending out emails, making phone calls, contacting the media, whatever I had to do to get the help that our son deserved. I created a website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, to reach the community for tips, bring awareness of my son's disappearance. It wasn't easy, but I did it. With the help of people in the community, I started weekly searches. I was able to get past the barriers that kept me from looking for my son. Finally, the search for Daniel was happening. Our searches concentrated on areas near the well site where my son was last seen driving away. After my son's Jeep Renegade was later found, we expanded our search to cover both well and crash sites. We conducted 7 weeks of searches without any assistance from the Buckeye Police Department, including searches with cadaver dogs, drones, fixed-wing aircraft, all provided by the generosity of the community and non-profit organizations. We discovered what we believe to be human remains during our searches, which included a skull, which all were turned over to the Buckeye Police Department. We also found a pile of clothes near the well site where my son was last seen. A pile of clothes including the undergarments, a pair of jeans, socks, and shirt which were documented and reported to the Buckeye Police Department. Okay. Again, you guys, I just wanted to pause real quick because, like I said, I wanted to show these videos to kind of document some things, you guys. When out there in that desert, first searching for my son, and like I said, in some of the weeks that we, been out there, of course, we found human remains, but we also found other evidence of things that was highly suspicious. You guys, items out there, cell phones, etc. These are the things that somehow the Buckeye Police Department connected to include in their report. Like I told you guys in the past, when I say certain things to the public, I know it always comes off as I'm police bashing or something, but I'm not. I just speak the facts of the way things are on the ground. Reports are one thing, but the facts are is another. It's almost like a history. Somebody write history in the way they want it written. That's on paper, but in reality, things happen, events happen in, totally different. So, there was, like I say, items that we found that was very highly suspicious and towards my son's case that have yet to be considered by the Buckeye Police Department. But in my investigation, they always are. And also the clothing at the time when we found those clothing I was speaking of, it was in the same manner that Buckeye Police Department suggested that my son's clothing was found in a pile. This person's clothes was found in a pile, his shoes, underwear, socks, everything. And but the difference is in this person's clothing found in the same manner. There was no vehicle involved that we know of, and also we know it was associated with Daniel because of the pant size. This is a very large guy. He had to be a roughly 200, probably possibly close to 300 pounds, just by the size of his pants. And so those things being reported to the Buckeye Police Department, given to the Buckeye Police Department. And I want to include again, you guys, during the time when I'm talking about the human remains. Yes, we believe they were human remains. Of course, that's a desert. Animals eat animals. So there's always something eating something out there. So we found a lot of animal remains as well, right? But the ones that even the animal remains, we think is suspicious to look like a human remain. Of course, in my searches, I have the volunteers not to touch anything. They know not touching thing. Only thing we do is document it, take pictures, get the location, and they upload it to a website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, which go to Ms. McGrath, one go to me, and also the Buckeye Police Department in real time. We wait, and during the search, while the search is going on, we wait the Buckeye to report back to us through the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office if they're human remains or not. Majority of the time they're not, but many times they were. And the way we started counting human remains is if we find volunteers find these femurs, for instance, femurs, or vertebrae, we count the femurs up. If we got 3 femurs, that's 2 people. You get what I'm saying? So it's not one because human has 3 femurs. So the thing is, for instance, that's how we started getting the numbers. And then when we were getting up to 7 persons or so, the Buckeye Police Department went in the media and downplayed it down to, I think, 1 or 2. They couldn't deny the human skull, but they tried to downplay it because you got to remember the history of the Buckeye Police Department. Chief Hall got suspended and one quit from, I guess, prosecution, because of falsifying reports when it comes to crime statistics. And so, again, it was no secret that they would downplay the number of human remains we found out there in that desert. So again, you guys, I just wanted to stop real quick and pause and kind of give you some context of some of the things that you're hearing in this video. So thank you again for listening. I'm going to continue on. The Buckeye Police Department conducted 3 searches to find my son over 3 months. The first was on June 26, 2001. The second was on July 9, 2001, by the Civil Air Patrol. And the third was on July 19, 2021, the date that our son's vehicle was found. To date, I know of no new searches performed by the Buckeye Police Department. When I spoke to the detective's supervisor, asked about cell phone pings, the GPS Uconnect in my son's vehicle, the street cameras that may have picked up my son's vehicle, movements. I was told that each of these didn't return any results. The detective said they would get a warrant to get the ping locations from Sprint T-Mobile, and another warrant to get the details from bank statements. The detective supervisor, Hanahan, canceled that. I was told that the judge would deny their request since there was no foul play. Detectives at the Buckeye Police Department called my daughter and me to the station to see if we had access to my son's bank account and call records. We had limited access and showed them what we could get from the screens of our cell phone. Then on speakerphone, I called USAA Bank for the detectives to see if I could get access to my son's bank account, since I was his bank account sponsor. At the time, we were not allowed but for minimum information. I want to be clear. I'm not here to bash the Buckeye Police Department, but I'm here to state the facts as I know it. On July 20th, 2021, I was notified of the discovery of my son's vehicle by Detective Bifford of the Buckeye Police Department around 9 o'clock that morning. I asked him why he didn't inform me the day before when he found my son's vehicle. Detective Bifford told me he didn't want to disturb my sleep. I was asked to come into the station for a briefing on what they found. As a arriving, Detective Bifford pulled out a picture and 2 maps from his folder. He started with the picture. He warned me that it was going to be disturbing. Next, explained to me that my son's vehicle was discovered down a 20-foot ravine, and that the vehicle flipped and rolled and rested on the side. Detective Bifford then pointed out that our son's clothing. He then pointed out our son's clothing in the picture. He told me that it was He told me that it was in a pile around 3 feet away from the vehicle, on the other side of the hill. He then asked me if my son wore boxers or brief. I told him I wouldn't know that. Finally, he explained to me that everything that my son was wearing, down to his socks and boots, was in that pile, including a safety vest, which was another feet away from the pile. Detective Bifford then told me that he believes our son was wearing a seatbelt on the road because how seatbelts lock. He said that Daniel sustained no injuries because there was no blood found in the vehicle. He explained that he believes that our son suffered a severe head injury, which explains why he shed his clothes off. He further told me that people with head injuries tend to shed their clothing because they believe they are alive. Finally, he said that he believed my son was delusional after the head injury, and he walked away and may have rested somewhere. After the brief, the detective wanted me to follow him to show me my son's vehicle. Finally, we arrived to the police vehicle holding facility. He led me to a gate and walked me to the back side of the building. Before showing me my son's vehicle, Detective Biffin told me a story about a prior missing person's case. He said to me that a family thought that He said to me that a family thought their family member was missing, but it turned out that she wanted to be away from her family to become a nun. He said he's not saying about what that's not. He said that. I'm sorry.
Take your time, brother. Take your time. Not in a rush. Take your time.
He said he's not saying my son did that, but maybe he wanted to be away from his family to join the monastery and become a monk. I was so shaken from the pictures I saw, it didn't dawn on me at the time what I was hearing. We proceeded to my son's vehicle, and at sight, I was stunned. I couldn't even move. The detective then told me to look inside my son's vehicle, but I didn't move. I was stunned. I couldn't move. He then walked closer to my son's Jeep, standing about 3 feet away. I followed him, and I stood by his side. He told me that I could look inside. I didn't, because I was still stunned. He lifted the airbag hanging out the driver's window, and he said, "You can peek inside," but I didn't move. He opened the back door so that I could see. I noticed an NYPD bag sitting on the back seat. I asked him what was it. He reached inside and dumped the contents on the back seat, out on the back seat of the car, of the vehicle. And then I had enough, and I asked to leave. Before Detective Biffin told me that I had to have my son's Jeep towed away from their facility, or they would have it towed, and I would be charged a storing fee. I begged him to give me time that I needed to digest what I just seen. I also am not from Arizona. I needed to find a place to have my son's vehicle towed. Detective Biffin then decided to give me a few more days. Within those few days, I became angry about what happened, and I wanted to meet with Chief of Police.
Okay, everybody. I want to pause again for those who may just joined in. This is my first press conference that I had when once the vehicle showed up. It brought up Daniel's mother, his oldest brother, and sisters. You probably see them behind. His mother will be coming up to talk pretty soon. But that press conference was because at the time, I've been having a very hard time with law enforcement to act. And the press conference is to let the public be aware of events that was happening in real time. And as I was saying before, you guys, when this press conference early on, it was right, like I said, you guys have been almost a month that Daniel's vehicle showed up. He's missing on 23rd of June. In July the 19th, the vehicle showed up. A few days after that, probably roughly a week after that point, is when I had this press conference And you know, like I said, all the stuff is fresh in my mind. So you guys, it's still consistent with everything I've been telling the public from day one. Again, a lot of things sound like it's police bashing, but no, these are things that was actually events that happened. And I wanted to share this again with the public who have not, probably have never seen my first or the second press conference, which I will share in the future as well again, and will highlight the events as they happened while they're fresh, and give you the dates and things like that. And you can see the inconsistency of that with the Buckeye Police Department report. So my duty right now is to really tear apart all the inconsistencies there in their report, based on their own words out of their own mouth, from officers who put their testimony in the Buckeye Police report, and in my opinion is very much falsified. They would have to account to those things themselves. But to show you guys where the failure happened, and the reason why we are here to this date, where I'm still searching for Daniel, why the forensics haven't been fully done. It got to a point, I'm sure law enforcement is on cover your behind syndrome, and what they were doing is just that. It's no more really having that concern of really finding Daniel, is to make themselves appear as they was looking to you guys, because it was a public and a national thing. So again, I just want you guys to get the context of the ones who just joining in. Like I said, this is freshly right after the vehicle showed up. It's my first press conference. Again, I did a second, but this is the first with Daniel's mother on the here, as well as his sibling. So you will hear from her if I play the whole video. I'm debating on that tonight, you guys. I've been planning to do so. I wanted to get into some other videos so you guys could see some of the actually growth of the development of Daniel's story and some of the efforts that was done at the time. So again, I'm going to go ahead and play, and then we'll go forward from there. Chief all agreed to meet with me. I brought along to Missouri. And in that meeting, I was allowed to ask questions that I had. I was grateful that they gave me space to do so. Still in disbelief and grief, I stumbled over questions that I prepared before the meeting. I asked what all was done. I asked all that was done in the 12-hour search for my son. They told me they had drones and helicopters. One of the detectives said that the helicopter flew so low that you could touch the bottom of the helicopter and have your hands up. I was told that they also brought in 2 cadaver dogs, 2 tracking dogs. They had utilized ATVs and trucks. I told the detectives that I was grateful that they searched for my son. Searched for and found my son's vehicle. Though I was in pain that they didn't find Daniel. I then asked more questions that I wanted to know. I wanted to know what was found in the form of forensics. I asked them if they found any fingerprints on my son's vehicle. Since the Jeep was there, I was told since the Jeep was there for some time, fingerprints would have been washed away. He explained that it was raining in that area because a hard hat inside the vehicle was filled with rainwater. I asked how can they be sure that my son was driving the vehicle without doing forensic work? How do you know that my son was driving the vehicle? The reply was that it was my son's vehicle. It is obvious he was driving. That didn't sound right with me, so I was determined. I demanded forensic work immediately. As I was leaving the meeting with the Buckeye PD, Detective Biffman gave me all my son's belongings, that was taken from the scene where my son Jeep was found in evidence bags, marked safekeeping, right there in that pocket space, right over there. I placed them in my vehicle, and I took them back to my hotel, feeling as if I lost the battle finding my son. A day later, I was called by the detective informing me that fingerprinting would be done on my son's vehicle, and they would be holding it for a few more days before releasing it to me again. Because it was not done at the scene, I was not very satisfied. Everything that led up to that day pushed me to look for a private investigator as a better option to finding my son. I continued to search every week with the volunteers, and at the same time, vigorously sought national news coverage. Getting national news attention would assure that the search for my son would cover more ground, because more eyes would be looking at him and would be looking for him. The effort to get national attention took 3 months to happen. It took 3 months, no matter how many times I put in tweets, posted on Instagram, utilizing copy and paste on copy and paste my website address to hundreds of inboxes and emails online. No matter how many posters I passed out in the community, no matter how many times I wanted the Buckeye Police Department to do more to help, seems like it became a roadblock. It took an unfortunate missing person case that captured the nation's attention that my son had a shot at being seen and heard. Daniel, the geologist that went missing in Buckeye, Arizona on June 23rd, was unknown to the nation until now. But even still, the nation has to watch while little to no action is being taken for my son. After 3 months, After 3 months, what would it take to call in the available resources to bring in the available resources to help bring Daniel home to the woman behind him, his mother, to his siblings standing right here, and to his friends back at home and here, and to me, and to the rest of my family. After 3 months, what would it take to get the same level of attention that some get just by being who they are?
Speak on it.
Well, let me tell you who my son is. He's her son. He is their sibling. Geologist Daniel Robinson is a man. He is a scientist. He is an American citizen. Daniel's a taxpayer. He is a contributor to society. And he's a resident of Arizona. Daniel is a son, a brother, a cousin, a grandson, a best friend. Daniel deserves to be treated like a human. With dignity, with respect, with the urgency needed to bring him back home. I'm his father. She's his mother. And we want answers. We need action, and we want to find our son. No family should have to go through hurdles just to find answers and get closure to the pain of not knowing what happened to our loved one. Every case involving a missing person should be treated with the same care and urgency as the next. There's no sorrow. There's no sorrow less felt by one family member over the other when their loved one is missing. It is all the same. Sorrow, pain, and grief has no color. It is felt by all who are going through life. It is felt by all who are going through life, never receiving an answer to what happened to their loved one, who was a part of their life. Often and very often, people of color have to go through hurdles and do not receive the urgency that it takes to find their loved ones. As a result, often they go unheard, even when putting our trust in the very ones who have served to protect us, who have sworn to serve and protect us. I put out a petition. My petition has over 54,000 signatures of people seeking justice for Daniel and all the victims and families whose voice is muffled by apathy. They signed the petition for the unheard and the unknown. People signed the petition to see change and how changing the law enforcement, how the law enforcement approaches a missing persons report. They want to see every case of a missing person treated with urgent care, the same level and vigor and sweat every time. I pray that no family has to endure what my family had to go through. I pray that no family has to endure what my family has to take just to be heard and to have our missing person taken seriously. But unfortunately, if the department lacks the resources and training needed to provide extra attention to a missing person, they must ask for help from outside sources. My deepest condolences is to the Day family, who recently lost their son. A mother and a father should not have to go through the spent pain wondering where their son is. Unfortunately, Janali Day is another black man who didn't receive the urgency that he needed. Janali was an Illinois State University graduate who deserved dignity that others receive when they go missing. Yet it was hard to ignore that color plays a part in how his disappearance was taken. My condolences to the Tito family. I know how they felt not having answers. I know how they feel. I wish that pain on no one. She had parents that love her, the same as Daniel has parents that love him. The standard of urgency used to locate Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie by law enforcement should be a template and a model used to find and locate every missing person, regardless of struggle.
Apologize for that. See, I'm not even on the screen, but I apologize for that. If you guys drop off, like I say, I will try to bring you back on if you're on the YouTube side, on Instagram side. But if I can't, you guys go to the YouTube channel, Facebook, or the Twitter to continue this live.
But I want to again say, thank you guys who are actually listening to this press conference. This press conference is done. I want to apologize, guys. I said weeks after the vehicle showed up, but it's actually months after, a couple months after because it was that 3-month mark where it took me to get this coverage that I needed for Daniel, and I said it in the press conference. So they let me know pretty much the timestamp of things. But you guys, I really appreciate those who came on the Instagram side. If it fall off again, I apologize, you guys. And but I'm gonna let it run, and I'll just be periodically checking to see if you guys fell off, and then see if I can bring you back on. If you can't get back on, like I said, just join in with us on the YouTube channel. Please help find Daniel. Facebook, please help find Daniel, or the Twitter, please help find Daniel. I will see. Let us go ahead and continue on. Thank you, guys. At this time, I just want to make mention to some people posted here behind me. Joseph Michael Bowler. He was missing on August 26, 2017 after a routine traffic stop in Tolleson, Arizona. Dynasty Craft, missing since September 1st, 2017. Desiree Hernandez, missing since October 2nd, 2017. Timothy Harris, missing since July 22nd, 2017. And my son David Robinson, missing June 23rd, 2021. Thank you.
And I'm here on behalf of Black Mothers Forum, but I'm also here on behalf of the Robinson family. You have my deepest sympathies. My heart is in pain because I am a Black mother just like you. And I have a son just like you. And I love him with all my heart, just like you. And so it hurts me to the core to see all of you in pain. It hurts me to the core that no one can tell us, where is Daniel Robinson? Yes. Where is our Black son? Yes. Where is our baby? We want answers. We need answers. We deserve answers. And as I stand here today on a Sunday morning, I'm standing in front of the Buckeye Police Department, and I'm not here to bash them, but I am here to state a fact that this place is closed. What is going on? Yes. Where the people who are going to protect and serve us get to go home. There should be around-the-clock service here in Buckeye. And if we don't have the resources, we better get them up in here. Yes. Right. We need to get some help up in here. We need some help. We need somebody to take responsibility to really protect and serve the citizens of Buckeye and the citizens of this state. Now this is enough. We are tired of seeing one person after the other being missing, and no one seems to take it so serious. Yeah. There seems to be a lack of urgency and a sense of motivation. And a sense of expectation of excellence to carry out our job. If you take an oath to protect and serve, then by golly, you better take that serious. You better come on with it. And if you're not motivated, if you don't have high expectations of your job, then you need to get out of this profession and move on with somebody else. This is enough. The City of Buckeye says that they are supposed to be a safe place for their citizens. They say they're supposed to be a place that people want to come. And they say they welcome all people. And yet I'm standing here today After this child has been missing since June 23rd, and someone said it wasn't foul play, are you kidding me?
Right.
Based on what we're hearing here, there's been foul play. You mean to tell me his vehicle rolled down 20-something feet into a ravine and there's no blood? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is foul play. Something happened to this baby. And we need to take it seriously. So I'm thinking to myself as I talk to Mr. Robinson, I said, what is the root of all this delay and this lack of empathy and this apathetic approach to looking for our people? And I came up with 4 things. I said it's either lack of motivation, lack of expectations of excellence for the service that you're supposed to provide, a lack of expertise and the skill sets that we need and the resources that we need to do this work. So I'm telling the Buckeye City of Phoenix, the City of Police Department and the Buckeye City Council and the mayor, you better get motivated. You better get motivated and you better start expecting excellence from your employees and from the professionals that are supposed to serve the people in this city. You better get it. You better expect more from yourself. Because if it was your child, you would want heaven and earth moved to find that baby. You would want it. We need motivated people to get in these positions of authority. I need someone to get the resources in place to make this place open today. There should not be a dark light sitting up in the Buckeye Police Department. Look at this. It's dark up in here. That means nothing is happening. Nothing. That is unacceptable. It is deplorable. And it should not be tolerated by the citizens of Buckeye. It should not. There should be someone out there at all times looking for the whereabouts of these babies that have gone missing. And I recognize that color may be part of this, but I also recognize that we got a capacity issue. And we need to gain capacity for feeling compassion and mercy for people. We need compassionate people to be a part of helping families walk through a process. And that they know that somebody 24/7 is looking for their loved one. 24/7. 24/7. So we want resources. We need national help. We need people who have the expertise and the skill set to properly investigate and to look for somebody. I need a person who can find a piece of lint in a haystack. That's the type of person I need to help our mission. And it needs to be taken seriously because these are human beings. They were fearfully and wonderfully made in the womb of their mama. We got a chance to birth these babies here. And you better take us seriously because we are not going to stand by quietly. The Black Mothers Forum has been helping from a distance. We've been helping behind the scenes. I've been trying to stay behind the scenes on this one and allow the Robinson family to do it their way. But if they want me to get to running my mouth, I will start to run my mouth. They don't want. We need to be up here looking at the Buckeye mayor. Mayor Osborne, where are you at?
Not here.
How come has the family heard from Mayor Osborne?
Nope.
Has he extended his condolences to you?
Nope.
Of how he's handled this mess?
Nope.
And allowed his police chief to handle this?
Where's the governor?
Where's the governor?
Where's the governor?
So this whole episode, this video, you guys, of my first family press conference, it's very, very, just even listening to it, you guys, for myself, going back over it, brings back so much pain and suffering mentally, and emotionally. And, just one thing that Ms. Woods were saying just a while ago, as you guys know, moving forward, I reached out to every entity in the Buckeye region that would, help any form of fashion to Daniel's case, and they haven't reached back. You guys, like I said, you know the problem I had with the Buckeye Police Department, but also I have reached out to the mayor, city managers, the city councils. Went to the meeting twice. You guys have been seeing that. Some of you guys were watching it live when I addressed them as well. Not just the city council there in Buckeye, but city councils Tempe and Phoenix as well. But the Buckeye in specific, you guys, those guys have not reached out to me. Now this is just weird. You know, you have the Tempe and the Phoenix city council actively tried to help in some form or fashion. Even this is the point of even coming out after the meeting to discuss some things with me and to sit down and exchange numbers or what the case would be. When I went to the Buckeye Police Department, Buckeye City Council, all of them was there. Chief Hall was there, the city manager there, the vice mayor was there, the mayor, the city council members, and all of them like people of stone. If you can look at them, you guys, it's almost if you could read a person, and if it was get the hell out of here, what's a word, you'll see their faces built into it. And that's the way the coldness and the empathy for the Robinson family, despite of the fact I was in their city with hundreds and hundreds of volunteers, a lot of them out of Buckeye, out there finding other human remains, bringing some closures to cases that would benefit the Buckeye area, Buckeye City of Buckeye, finding these human remains, finding this evidence out there, and bringing attention to the Buckeye in a whole from a national standpoint. You would think somebody would say something, you guys. And when she was pointing this out just a while ago, this was like, of course, the city council meeting stuff I did was after this press conference. But the fact is, it never changed. What she was saying is a foresight of things that actually happened. That department, that city of Buckeye was one of those places that didn't show any concern to my son's case, despite CNN being there in the desert with me, News Nations being in the desert with me, Dateline is in the desert with me, coming out to ask these questions and things like that, and they would not budge. So of course it just shows you, like Maya Angelou would say, if they show you who they are, believe them, and that's exactly what I believe about Buckeye leadership in the whole, not the community, because there's some wonderful people that came out of the Buckeye community that was out there in the 49 weeks of searches, working hard with me, showing their love to a stranger they don't know. So I'm not talking about the citizens necessarily, just talking about the leadership. So there you go, you guys.
I need to talk to Governor Ducey. You know I can talk to Governor. I will ask Governor Ducey what's going on. If we need to get some resources to this city, we need to get some resources here. So whatever we can do to get the resources needed for this family and many, many others who are waiting for an answer. And it's not so much that it's taking you so long to find this, it's that you're not communicating. This is what Mr. Robinson said, no one is communicating with him. And then they just cast it off and said it's over, there's nothing more we can do about it. You got to be kidding me. You were trained, hopefully you were trained for this. If you're not, move out the way and move the place. Move. So, my call for everyone today, all across this city and across this nation, we have got to start taking human life seriously. For the past year and a half, we've had a pandemic that has taken loved ones out of here left and right. And we're not with them in the hospital, but at least we know where they were. So I want to know, where is Daniel Robinson? Let's go get the answers, and I'm calling out for everyone who has the skill sets to step forth and put together the same sense of urgency as they did with the Petito family. We need that same sense of urgency now for this. Thank you very much.
Okay, again, everybody, real quickly, I just want to give some backdrop for those who may have just joined in. This is my first family press conference I put together to bring Daniel's mother and his siblings in to be a part, so we can talk to the public about the events that was happening at the time, things that was lacking, etc. But this press conference was impressive. She would remind me as well. This press conference was put together because I decided to do that because you guys, at the time, the Buckeye Police Department said, hey, there was no more leads to follow. And according to my investigator, they told him when they gave him the black box data that they didn't even read. He had to read it for. That's why you guys know about the 11 additional miles, the 46. All that came from my investigator. Buckeye did not do anything with the black box data. They didn't know how to read it, obviously. And they told him to specifically they were not investigating any longer. They gave me a partial, unredacted report that Chief Hall in the meeting said that he would give me the full report once the investigator finished writing the report because they were done with Daniel's case. And he'll give me the full report, which they did. I still have that unredacted as well. And then once, of course, it came national, then they say, hey, they started saying, hey, we were investigating this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then they came out of the third report that you guys seen out there in the public. And then now I know they have a fourth one out now that's very well written and is totally different from the first. Well written and, and accusational of me and attacking me, attacking my character, attacking me as a person. And then, things like that, putting unnecessary things about Daniel. I guess what he searched or whatever, just sensationalizing Daniel's case. But I just want to say that this video is the press conference for those who join in. Press conference, my first press conference. I have a second as well that I did when I first got those words about more information about the Buckeyes standing on Daniel's case at the time. I wanted to make sure that we keep Daniel's case in the forefront, and as well as keep the public aware of what was going on at the time while I was out there. I was currently, you guys, even in the press conference time, still currently out there in the desert with hundreds of volunteers actively still searching for Daniel, getting out thousands of flyers all across the country. So guys, we'll just thank you so much for just joining in and listening in on this press conference. Thank you so much.
This was the most excruciating experience that I've ever had to go through pertaining to one of the children. I thank the community for helping me to get here. I was a wreck. And I thank God that his father was able to take the wheel and I knew I could. Because as a mother, you don't know what to say. You don't know what to think. All you see, and all you know is that your baby. I see a baby. You see a man. I see a baby. A baby that I rocked when he cried. A baby that I fed when he was hungry. That's all I remember. It's just this baby that came into my life and gave me much more meaning than I thought I would have. All of my children used to work to me. And yet, they would say, Mama, you're spoiling Daniel. You're spoiling Daniel. And I felt as a mom, did I do anything wrong to cause my son to be born without a right hand? Because you can literally beat yourself up about it. But now, I am so proud he is who he is. Because now, he loves himself. I love him for being himself. And Daniel is my greatest hero. Because he taught me that throughout everything in this world that he can do. He would tell me, Mama, no, don't hold my hand. Don't do this, let me do it myself. And I had to pull back and let him do it. I never thought I'd be on this platform today, rehearsing around what you're going to say. And trust me, I won't take too much more of the time.
Take as much time as you need.
I didn't expect to come here this week. I just thought I was just going to be here at the press conference. It's called in this work. And now I felt compelled to say something about my son. The last time I was on this platform, Daniel was 12 years old and I was celebrating him because he was student of the week in Columbia, South Carolina. And I hope you all can find that footage. How Daniel played took a while to get there. Yes, I was over there, and I was so fearful every time I come in. I was so fearful that I was going to hear something. I said, no, not my baby. Everyone was calling for the speak. I literally had to rearrange my whole life, my work schedule, to be alone at work and just cry. And I was so glad that my job gave me the opportunity to do that. Because I work at a hospital and the chapel is right across the hall. And when I couldn't take it anymore, I had to go. I said, God, I need you. I need you to take this pain from me. It's so very hard to express that type of pain. You thought you felt pain. Try looking for your child and not knowing what it is. So I'm thankful that everyone has given me the opportunity to now that I am able to speak. 3 months ago, I couldn't say anything. I just closed up myself and just waited for that call and let his father keep me informed. Some days I was just so fearful to hear the wrong news. It took me 3 months to look at my son's picture. Just seeing his home. It took me 3 months to look at something. And without being able to just break down. So I know God has strengthened me that way. Because I literally would have been on this ground. Even if we've been requiring someone to help find a son. So with that being said, I just thank everyone for making arrangements for me to be here. To show that there is another side of Daniel besides the strong and presence that he gets from his father, but yet I'm the nurse. I'm the one that helped him to love and open up and say, it's okay to tell each other that you love each other. And especially in our community, we really can take the opportunity to tell our children that we love them. But when my children is born, I said, I'm starting a new generation of telling your children that you love them.
Yes.
And we're keeping them every day at this moment. His dad is sitting this way.
Yes.
I'm just so thankful because I believe to come home, feel it as a mom. I feel my own baby. He's a man who does faith. He's a man. And he would make me if I kept saying baby on national television. But thank you all once again.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to stop right here. This again, Dave Robinson, father geologist Daniel Robinson. I just wanted to say that was the first family press conference I had. Once I was able to get Daniel's mother and Daniel's oldest brother. Of course, his one of his sisters was already living in Arizona. The other was out of Arizona, and just brought them in to do a family press conference. Of course, my children didn't speak in this family press conference, but Daniel's mother, that was Daniel's mother, describing some of the things that she felt at the time. And also, I was able to give everybody an update at the time of things that was happening on the ground. And of course, well, like I was saying, you guys, I just wanted to put the press conference up there. Originally, my idea was to put part of the, not the whole thing, as far as I went. I wanted to put certain portions of it and then kind of bring it to you guys to show you like a timeline of how the contradictions are there. If you guys can read the report of events that actually happened on the ground. I will be sharing a lot of calls that I had with the Buckeye Police Department. I recorded myself speaking with the Buckeye Police Department and to show you guys the inconsistencies in their story of their search for Daniel. To again, like I said, you guys, had I took those evidence bags into my custody, like the Buckeye Police Department wanted me to, and they told us that they had the Molisa file. Told my investigator later that they wasn't even investigating. But the impression I got at the time, as you heard on the press conference, when they gave me everything, I thought all was lost, and then I had to get a new sense of strength, you guys, to continue my efforts to find my son, because I felt law enforcement just dropped off from that point. That's caused me to get my private investigator to make sure that I can do my part as a father to make sure Daniel's case continue on, right?
And so I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea exactly of the events that happened at the time. We'll be sharing the second press conference eventually. Of course, not tonight. I didn't expect to be on here for an hour, 25 minutes. I still see that somehow Instagram seems to be still hanging in there. So I'm glad to hear to see that they dealt with me at the beginning, or they had a little notification say, "Hey, look, it don't last for an hour," and then after that, I guess it drops off. So or I need a new key to continue on. But I wanted to, like I said, do a couple things. I wanted to show you this on the screen as well. During the time the Buckeye Police Department, you guys was telling the public, right, that they claim they did a search for Daniel, like I said, for with the Civil Air Patrol, and the Civil Air Patrol literally they had the map. You guys, they put it out in the public. They did that search, you guys, and that was a few weeks after Daniel was missing. But they did that search, and the reason why I know that because I was actually there. I surprised them. I showed up. It wasn't what they said it was, you guys, though, but it was they used about four or five vehicles, white pickup trucks with two guys each truck. One police cruiser that was with the Detective Biffin and one other detective. They literally lost one of those trucks to the search because they used that truck to block me from coming into the desert to see actually what they were doing. Told me I couldn't, they wouldn't allow me into the desert for whatever reason. And at that time, you guys, but on their map they say they covered this area right here where you see, if you look really well in the picture, you can see Daniel's Jeep there, right? They utilized at the time a fixed wing aircraft. They said they did multiple pads over, which I only see one. And also they actually literally covered this ground where this vehicle was found. If you guys look to at this vehicle, you can see it in the picture. If you was to look over to the left, I think some people may on Instagram may not be able to see this picture really clear. But if you look to the left, that is BLM land. That's Bureau of Land Management. That's the area where let me see if I can see you guys make it see what I'm looking at. But that's the area. Yes, you can see that vehicle there. If you go to the left of your screen, you can literally where you see the officer. You probably look down a little south. That side of the that ravine is federal land. It's you can literally take probably less than 100 paces, and you will be right there on BLM. Now that's according. I'm saying that's based on what Buckeye is saying and based on their measurements. But when I went on the real time into that area and did my own, the vehicle is indeed on federal land, right? So it's discrepancies with that. Some people will argue the point, say it wasn't on federal land. But if you look at, I hate to bring up other cases, but look at other cases, and I'm not going to say the name this time, but that proximity gave them enough for the FBI to come into the case and say, hey, we don't know this crime or this event happened on our land. FBI came involved. Because it's Daniel Robinson, you guys, I have to date had a hard time even get an interview with the FBI to look into what happened to my son in this case. The only thing I heard from the FBI is the Buckeye Police Department did a case review, and they said the FBI said, you, Mr. Robinson, doing such a great job on your own. We're not coming in. We don't need to come in. You're doing such a great job on. I guess I did for the weeks of searches with hot volunteers or whatever. They felt like I was doing a better job than them, according to the Buckeye Police Department. Secondly, again, I heard behind my back they were trying to say that they're going to get the FBI to look into something. And I have, like I said, to this date, you guys, I have not one time been interviewed with the FBI. I've reached out to Akil, is his name. He had just taken over the Phoenix FBI office. I was able to get information out to him. This guy have yet to even speak to me. When I reached out to the FBI, the local field office in Phoenix, to inquire about this information, they wouldn't even let me in the building. You guys, they had two armed guards with the agent as if I was going to do a crime or something, and that's the way they treated me and kept me in the guardhouse. Me and Mr. Larnell Farmer, and yelling at us and all kind of crazy mess. So it's a lot of things going on that would suggest, it depends on who you are as a person, how you get treated. So again, I just wanted to point out this picture because you guys, if you listen to the story that I will be sharing you guys as well, that the Buckeye Police Department statements to the public. They asked the news organizations to come in, of course, CNN and some of the others. We asked Buckeye, they did a search in this area how come they did not see this vehicle out there? And their answer was that the terrain was so lush with vegetation, it's so thick, and you can't see it from the air, it's hidden from the brush. And if you guys look at this picture, you will see, like I'm saying, just because you read something in a report, that is his story, but the facts on the ground is opposite. And the crazy part about it, guys, this picture, it came from the Buckeye Police Department. It came from a drone footage that they have. You see the two officers there. You see no crime scene tape or anything. This is when the vehicle was found. The day the vehicle was found, there's no crime scene tape because they didn't treat it as crime. You don't see a bunch of vehicles around, police vehicles around there, canvas in the area. You just see those two officers sitting there with their drone. That's what exactly, and it's very consistent to what the rancher told me of events of that day. I also have a recorded conversation with him as well. He would describe the events when it's fresh in his mind that happened out with the Buckeye Police Department. There was no cadaver dogs from Maricopa County as the Buckeye Police Department suggested at the time. There was one dog, and I'm not sure it was a cadaver dog or whatever type of dog it was, but they brought it out there at 10 o'clock at night, roughly is what the rancher said. And they brought it back in almost 30 minutes later, stating that it was being stalked by a mountain lion. They didn't have the ATVs plural. They have a problem. Chief Hall as well have a problem with using plurals when they talk about things, you guys. Like co-workers said, a co-worker said, but they have a problem with using plurals to make them bolster their credibilities. But again, you guys, there wasn't no helicopters and no ATVs. He said they only brought one ATV, and I know it's got to be true because I invited the Buckeye Police Department out to a search before. They came out with one. They didn't do anything in the search, you guys. I'm gonna make that clear. When I was considered to say Buckeye have no help with my efforts in the desert, they did not at all. They showed up at one time with almost like Barney Five, like they had their days off, but they came with one ATV, and they did it one time when I brought them out there to do look at this well site. They came with that same ATV. They only have one in possession. You go look it up, guys. They only have one. They don't have multiple ATVs. They only have one. And so when they use that plural, we had ATVs, and they're just really inflating, almost like I hate to say it this way, some people may get mad, but some people would inflate their value of their company and make it sound bigger than what it is. And that's what they did in this instance here to make the public believe that they had a bigger search and a bigger effort for Daniel because they care and they had this search. If I'll show you more pictures of that scene, which I will in the future, you can literally count the vehicles that are out there on that day, and it was consistent to the rancher's story. And the crazy part, you guys, I interviewed the rancher. That's why I have a recording of our conversation. The Buckeye Police had yet to interview key witnesses because their narratives is always going to be keeping Dane's vehicle there for 30 days. Their narrative is going to be that he was out there. Their narrative is going to be certain things. And if they interview a person, the eyewitness to the person that say contradictory to what they're putting in their report, they have a problem. So it got to stay consistent to what they're putting out there for you guys' consumption. So again, you guys, that's my efforts there when it comes to exposing some of those what I call lies when it comes to Daniel's case and those false things. Larry Hall was able to get out of his troubles when they falsified the reports. Somehow the Buckeye, I'm saying, think about the city managers there, the city council, and also the mayor of Buckeye, because they are able to keep a chief of police who falsified documents, keep him in chief position. Some other thing happened. They save his job and save his pension. They put him into the city manager. It's almost like a promotion. Get him in city manager area of things for a little while for whatever reason. And it's, again, Sanders came up, and then they bumped him back down. This is doing what Daniel was missing, you guys. Bumped him back to chief, so he can, I guess, get his pension and things like that. And then when now that there's trouble here, he's out of there. He's out of there, safe and sound to do whatever he does. So again, you guys, I wanted to point out, if you look at this scene and you listen to the words that the Buckeye Police Department say, you would not see lush and greeny, and they didn't see it. If the vehicle was there for 30 days, they would have saw it, basically. If the vehicle was there, the rancher say it wasn't there 2 days prior. He was literally in that ravine looking for his cattle, and it wasn't there. So you can't, two things can't be true. You talk to Mal IQ that they're resting their 30-day theory on. The owners would tell you, because they don't want to be liable, you cannot use our app as credibility. Our app is inconsistent. It has failures and everything else. You cannot use that for that purpose to substantiate that this vehicle is here for 30 days. But they do, because if they finally found something they felt can bolster their, what I call lies, their stories. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining in with me on this live. Again, I didn't want to be on so long, but I want to get through a couple of things real quick. And before I lose all of you guys, I want to make sure you don't forget this flyer distribution, you guys. Please help find Daniel.com. You guys can please hit me up. Please help find Daniel at yahoo.com. Request the flyers. I have more to send out. Those who still waiting on those flyers, I had to wait till I replenish. And I'm sending those flyers out to you this coming week. So you guys who have not received your flyers yet, they're coming. So thank you guys for even asking for them. The ones who want to print them out to see, some people did send me emails and showed me they printed out those flyers from the website. Thank you so much, because that's a form of donating, and you guys do that. I truly appreciate that, because I know how much it costs to print flyers and et cetera. So when you guys print them out yourself, I know it costs you ink at home and things. I'm grateful for that. So thank you so much for going to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. Hit that PDF button to print those flyers and get them out into your community, to places that you go. They help me get Daniel's story out there, and they help me fight. You guys, I mean, you see this right here. We're talking about the press conference. If I stop now, it'd be in the other case, you guys, what happens? You stop, and the case go 20 years from now and still no answers. And then all of a sudden, some new person who do care come into to detective, and then decide to open up a cold case, or you go to some cold case place, and then here it is a week later, they find answers to what happened. Those answers are always there. It's just that you got to make law enforcement do their job. You got to put them you got to lead them to the right place. If I left Arizona, you guys, the time that I could have when they gave me that vehicle, and they told me before he gave me that vehicle and threatened me and say, if you don't get it out here, we're gonna have it towed and you got to pay storage fees. If I would have say, okay, I'll get out here today, find a way to get it towed out of there, and it been gone out of their facility. And if I would have gotten that meeting, and I would have grabbed the evidence bag they gave me that's marked for safekeeping, I threw it in my trunk and drove back to South Carolina. And they told me, I guess they was done with Daniel's case. Hey, look, we wouldn't have heard, y'all wouldn't have heard of Daniel Robinson. I'll just put it that way. You would have never heard of Daniel Robinson case. You would have never seen, we would have never known about the 11 additional miles. We'd have never known about the 46 initial cycle. We'd never know about the red transfer paint. We'd never know about anything that happened in that case, you guys, if it wasn't for me deciding to stay and fight for my son. You guys are helping me, because I'm telling you, I cannot give up now, and I need you guys to continue to support as much as you can. So thank you so much, you guys, if you're printing those flyers out, and those who are requesting. I truly appreciate it, because that's very important to me, to continue to keep awareness out of anything. You guys, if you can do, that's one of the biggest things, is getting awareness out there, keeping awareness out there. So again, I want to play one more video, and this have nothing to do, it's kind of going current, because since I run out of time here, I wanted to make some discussion and then play this video. And the reason why I'm playing this video, Ms. Whitley, she did a great job on it. This was last year, you guys, of course, so you can hear the dates kind of off, but that's last year, but it's still relevant to what has been happening. And it's going to be some things that I want to talk about that I plan to do going forward. So thank you, guys.
Dad, about that today, Brianna.
Yeah, one of the things Daniel Robinson's dad has done so well is making sure his son's case is in front of the media and the public, and finding different ways to do that even when there aren't any updates. He says he doesn't want Daniel's case to go cold. So having the opportunity to speak on stage with Gabby Petito's family about the disparities in their cases was powerful and important.
Daniel Robinson, Gabby Petito, both of them gone, leaving their parents fighting for justice together.
Hey, look, nobody want to be a part of that club. but we are like family now, and we're sharing the same pains and burdens.
David Robinson has been fighting tirelessly to find his son, geologist Daniel Robinson, who disappeared from a work site in the Buckeye Desert in June of 2021. Detectives found his Jeep crashed nearly a month later, about 4 miles from where he was last seen, with his clothes and his belongings at the accident site, but he has never been seen again.
You grab the steering wheel and swerve or anything like that?
Just a couple months later, Gabby Petito went missing on a cross-country vlogging road trip with her boyfriend Brian Laundrie, and her case gained international attention from media and law enforcement almost immediately. David Robinson built a friendship with Gabby's father, Joe Petito, and the two took the stage together at CrimeCon this past weekend.
We had a platform where we were talking about white woman syndrome, as well as being able to talk about our individual cases and how the disparities is.
That idea is that missing white women receive more attention and resources than families of missing loved ones of other races, a topic Robinson says Gabby's father was extremely receptive to.
He told me he's doing everything he can going forward to help families of all races, get the attention that they need in every case. 'Cause every case should have that equal amount of attention.
Robinson says while most of his son's disappearance revolves around Buckeye and the vast desert out there, he's now focusing on where his son lived in Tempe and who may have been there before he vanished.
I'm looking into my son's apartment. These things are very crucial. These things that we don't hear in the report, we don't hear in the public.
Robinson says having the opportunity to speak on stage and have a booth at CrimeCon was a great way to find new resources and support, doing everything he can across the country to keep Daniel's name at the forefront.
I always think about him every time. He don't have a voice. I'm his voice for him.
Robinson has waited for the weather to cool down here, but he is working on organizing another search this fall for his son in Buckeye, just working on gathering resources and nonprofits to help and to support the volunteer searchers that also come out to aid him there. So.
Gosh, this case is just so mysterious. The evidence they found just way out in the desert, and his dad, every time we speak with him, you sense the frustration because it's like, where does he go from here? Doesn't the evidence trail grow cold?
Yeah, I mean, it does. And that's the thing. It's so confusing to all of us because he went missing at the hottest time of the year in 2021. He didn't have his clothes or his belongings. They were at the crash site. So where could he have gone? How far could he have made it? It just doesn't make sense. And that's so frustrating. But I commend his dad, who has the strength to keep going. And he does such a good job finding new ways to get people's attention, saying, hey, my son's still missing, but let's talk about something different with the case and bring it up, and that way you just don't forget Daniel Robinson's name.
Yeah, he's just being a soldier. And you think about all the families that are going through this and how grueling that must be day in and day out.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I talk to these families all the time and it's awful, but it is cool to see the Petito family and the Robinson family coming together like this from really across the country with their cases. It's powerful.
I've never heard of this CrimeCon.
Hey, you guys. Yes, I just wanted to, like I said, just throw that in the video. I wanted to talk a little bit more about. I'm not going to get too deep as I was planning on. But I want to say I just want to show the video is because Brianna, she's right. Ms. Willie is correct when it comes to trying to make sure I do anything and everything I can to keep Daniel's case alive and well. When I say alive and well, with the public interest, you guys can see on Twitter. I say even if you guys fade away, the public fade away, the interest fade away, I'm still have to be here for my son. I have to continue to fight, you guys, for Daniel. So it's not hinged on the public of my fighting, but I need the public to continue on to keep pressure and keep Daniel's case alive and well. So when it comes to law enforcement. And so again, she's right, being very creative to try to keep things going. At the same time, you guys, this is a case. It's not an entertainment thing or anything. It is based on trying to find out what happened to my son. I've been fortunate to meet the family of Petitos, who are very wonderful people, very helpful people. And, they had to go through the pains and suffering that they had to go through. And it's sad to say that, sometimes you join a club that you want to be a part of, but nevertheless, you have to, we have to look out for each other and help each other out much as we can. So, again, you guys, I just wanted to kind of point out some of those things when it comes to, that video in particular. There's some little details I wanted to talk about that she was mentioning when it comes to, the efforts out there in that desert, fighting for Daniel. and some of the disparities that's there as well, and the way things was happening. But we'll talk about that another day. But thank you guys again. I'm going to end this with a last clip or sound bite from Nancy Grace. You guys know of Nancy Grace. Well, once that ends, I will be ending as well. I'll be getting off. So thank you guys. I want to say real quick to those who are on the chats. Thank you again for your comments and your love. Like I said, I truly appreciate each and every last one of you for joining in. Those who are on the Instagram side, and I'm really happy that Instagram didn't cut you off. You guys are still there. So thanks so much for joining in, spending your evening just to listen to some of these clips. I truly believe these clips. I really appreciate you guys. I was reading some at the same time I was talking to you guys. So thanks so much. I see some of your questions and things like that. I wish I can get into them. I really do. So you guys in the live, bring your questions again, you guys, because I would like to answer those. I don't want to do it tonight because I know how long-winded I can get, and I would get real long-winded, especially if I get angry and I start thinking about some of the things that law enforcement hadn't done, and my son remained missing. It really, gets to me. Do you believe the vehicle was there prior to July the 19th? No. And so, as a matter of fact, I know it wasn't based on information that we received. So, and evidence, the hard physical evidence, no. But you guys, some people would say it was there before and they moved it and put it back. It's another thing you can look at that. But I don't have any hard proofs of that. But that's another theory as well that's out there. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much again. I see there's so many people who's here. Aaron, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You know how you are. You're doing so much. You have done so much as well. Lakeisha, you too. I really appreciate it with the question, and also the good evening. I really appreciate you because everything you've done as well. The thousands of flyers you put out there, I really appreciate that. So thank you. I really appreciate it. You guys. Lil, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the positive energy. You guys have a wonderful night. Again, like I said, I'm going to play some Nancy Grace there, and then this live will end. So thank you guys. God bless you and everybody you love. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend. I don't know who's going to the Super Bowl, but whoever you're going for, hope they win. So my team didn't make it. So whoever win, let them win. So you guys take care of yourself. Be blessed.
Does a young man vanish off the face of the earth? How does that happen? No record, no sightings, nothing. He's just gone. And when I say a young man, I'm talking about 25-year-old Daniel Robinson. He is the apple of his parents' eye. A young geologist, music lover, good-looking, great grades, the works. So why can't we find Daniel? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. And his dad, David Robinson, is using the GoFundMe money to fund his own investigation and the desperate search for his boy, his son, Daniel Robinson, 25 years old. What happened to him? How did he just disappear? David Robinson, sir, thank you so much for being